So, looking back on TESP as a class as a whole, I learned a lot. I learned some things that I am going to use in the classroom and some things that I don't exactly agree with in the classroom. And I think it was a great eye opener and a great learning step for everyone to figure out their teaching styles and figure out how to help other people with their different learning styles and their different lifestyles as well. So, looking back in Module 1, we did an ADA activity, and that was where we looked at a restaurant or someplace on campus and you looked to see if it was accessible for wheelchairs and other disabilities. Um, in my classroom, when I am a teacher, I'll make sure that my classroom is easily accessible for a wheelchair and for students of any disability. And if arrangements are need to be made, I will make them so that the student is felt welcomed in the classroom and they can participate like a normal student would. Um, and so for module 2, we did the partnership activity where we discussed rules regarding communication, professional competence, commitment, respect, trust, equality, and advocacy. So, as a future teacher, I plan on emailing teachers and telling them my expectations from the beginning regarding the communication, professional competence, commitment, respect, trust, equality, and advocacy. Um, I don't want there to be um, any hidden rules. I want to be straight with my students' parents, and I want to let them know that this is what I expect. This is the behavior that I want, and if it's not received, then there will be consequences. And for my students, I will have a poster on the wall so that it will be made that that's how I want to be treated and that's how I want everyone in our classroom to be treated, and those are my expectations. For Module 3, during class we made lesson plans for children with exceptionalities. And so in my classroom, I'll I'll obviously have a lesson plan for everyone in the class. I will have a lesson plan for the day. I'll have a lesson plan, and I'm a visual person, so I'll have it written down on my board so that there's no confusion as to what we're doing in the day. So I will be writing down our lesson plan for the day as well as our learning targets of what we're supposed to be learning that day. However, if a student with a disability needs a personal lesson plan, I will be more than willing to help them so that we can get them on track and make sure that they have what they need to succeed in my classroom. For Module 4, we did a flip grid of students who have an expressive language disorder. And so in my class, if need be, I will make a poster sheet or a poster or a behavior sheet. We had these at my school where it was just like a paper and, sorry, these are my notes, a paper, and it would just tell you, like, this is what I expect. Did I meet the expectation? And have the teacher sign it saying that they met that expectation. And so I believe that it works. I've seen it work on students and I am willing to give it a shot. So if they have a behavioral thing, I will make sure that they have a sheet so that they can be successful and know the difference between right and wrong behaviors. In Module 5, we made a presentation for students with ADHD where we answered a ton of questions that were given to us. And as a teacher, I will, of course, deal with students who have ADHD. And it needs to be normalized. And I think that there are a lot of things that as teachers we need to understand and we need to learn from students with ADHD. Um, and so uh, I will use the research that we did for that module to help me with future scenarios. I'll have books on hand um, because every student with ADHD is different, and so you can't all treat them all the same. And this goes for everything, but I don't think I should have a direct lesson plan or a direct plan with a student with ADHD when I don't know the intenseness of their condition. For Module 6, we focused on mainly students with autism. And as a teacher, I'll have books um, about children with autism in the class, and I learned a lot from watching my classmates' PSAs. And so I believe that if I like review those and look at my books, I can take the right steps in helping the student with autism. And like all the other ones, every single student who has autism is different. And so I don't think I can create a plan of what I would do in the classroom because it's so unique and it's so different. I would need to understand what their condition is before I can speak on it. In Module 7, we discussed TBIs and how to assign homework to a student who's homebound. And not only did this assignment teach me a lot, but also with like the global pandemic, obviously, I've learned so much and I've realized that there are ways around not being in a classroom and still learning and still getting things done. And so as a teacher, if my student is homebound, there are a lot of resources that I can use and will use to help the student get the education that they need, whether that's sending papers home or sending them videos of lectures if they can do that. And again, it just depends on the type of student and what their needs are, but I will be more than willing to work around it. And for our last module, Module 8, we learned about visual impairments and gifted and talented students. And I've learned that with visual impairments, there's a lot of things I didn't really know, but the main one is to not turn around and talk while they can't see you. And so I will highly, highly, highly remember that, and I will use that in my classroom. And for gifted and talented students, to put them into groups so that they can like succeed together and help other students if needed. Um, so yeah, that's what I learned this year, and there's a whole lot more, but I can't really say everything that I learned in a 10-minute video. So, um, but I'm very happy that I took this class, and I can't wait to share my knowledge with the rest of the world. And yeah, bye.